last thing, you can look at me. You can look at that camera if you want. Just don't look at the purple guy. He's not even there.
No purple.
That's why he's wearing the purple screen.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No problem.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Fine. Let's just do it. Let's roll.
Do it live.
Let's do it live.
All right.
Up.
All right, guys, we're here at Skybound Games booth. I'm talking to, what's your name?
Arsene Nazarian. I'm a brand manager for Skybound Games. What's up, everybody?
All right, so tell us about some of the games you're showing off. We just looked at WrestleQuest. I know you guys got some other stuff going on. So what else do you have at the booth?
That's right.
Here?
We got a ton of stuff actually at the booth here. We're showing off Glitchbusters, which is a 1 to 4 player co-op mayhem sort of shooter platformer meets Ghostbusters style game.
Okay.
Hence, the name. It's quite similar, of course. And in Glitchbusters, you essentially just buddy up with your teammates, friends online or locally. And you
cooperative game.
Cooperative game. You take on some big baddies on the internet. You're essentially trying to rid the internet of pop-up ads and malware and viruses and what have you. It's
okay,
all
cool.
Well, the things that we all wanted to do as kids, basically.
So is this like a beat 'em up situation, or what
it's more of kind of like a shoot 'em up situation. Okay. There's a lot of power-ups, a lot of weapons to unlock, and the real hook of the game is actually these magnetic co-op abilities. So you can essentially stack on top of one another. You can kind of beeline around one another, use this move called the Magno Dash. And a whole lot of other creative ways, because they're all magnets, and so there's a lot of magnetic abilities that you use as you traverse the terrain and take on the baddies.
Is that unique to specific characters you pick, or just
no,
each
all
player?
4 of them have the same sort of capabilities, and it's just all about having a fun romp with your friends.
Okay, cool. So what else you got showing off?
So we're also showing off a couple other games. We have Vice Undercover here, where you play essentially a Miami cop who goes undercover trying to take down the cartel, basically, which has infiltrated a sort of creative, shall we say, retcon 1980s Miami.
It's very stylized, I imagine.
Very stylized, for sure. You play on basically an Amiga console, essentially. That's a really fun one.
So even just the perspective itself, it has its own visual aesthetic.
Absolutely, yeah. It's a complete different visual aesthetic, very sort of neon, 80s, but also that Amiga. Because you feel like you're essentially behind a desk, at the police station, basically.
Right. Yeah. So is there a gameplay hook?
Yes,
what's the one thing to know about that game?
Man, the one thing to know about that game. Well, you're trying to take down the cartel, and you're trying to do it. I really wish. Yeah.
You can think about it. This is how editing works.
I do want to think about
this is what happens in interviews. All right, we're here with Matt to talk about Vice. It's a pretty interesting looking game aesthetically. Can you tell us what's the deal with this game?
Yeah, so it's a 1980s narco thriller where the only way to stop the drug cartel is from within. So in our game, it's re-envisioning the 1980s with retro-futuristic technology. So back then, it envisions that the internet actually existed. So you're an undercover cop, and you're trying to expose the drug cartel. You get some information that there's an exposed terminal for about 1 hour. So you hop in there, and then you're trying to hack and get as much information and race against the clock so that you can take on the drug cartel.
Okay, so the whole context of the game is basically you at a computer, right? And the aesthetics really mirror that as well, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it really, it's a trip down memory lane. So we're trying to re-envision things in the 1980s. So it's got a really great 1980s soundtrack, an old school Winamp player, dial-up internet. So all these things that you remembered as the internet was blossoming, it's kind of put into the 1980s.
Okay, cool. Do you guys have a platform or release date?
It's coming out on PC later this year, so just this year for this point.
Okay, so no month or anything or season?
Likely in the summer time frame.
Okay, cool. Matt, thanks so much.
What's up, Pax?
What's up, Zach?
How you doing?
Can you tell me why we're in a wrestling ring right now?
Well, you're standing here in the Skybound Wrestling Ring for WrestleQuest, the world's first heavyweight pro wrestling RPG.
Okay, awesome. So this is an actual wrestling ring, I'm
correct.
told. Yes?
That's correct. Yes, we'll have actual wrestlers down here at PAX wrestling for your enjoyment in honor of WrestleQuest.
Okay, awesome. So tell me about this game. Like, what's the pitch you give?
So WrestleQuest, like I said, is the world's first pro wrestling RPG. What we did is we took the best things that we all love about the golden era of RPGs. You know, your Chrono Triggers, your Earthbounds, and we just wrestle-fied it, right?
Okay.
So we made the combat, that turn-based system that, you know, is fun, but after a while it gets kind of like you're on autopilot. We added a lot of wrestleification to make it so you can't just sit back. Like for instance, we have a thing called the hype meter, which is an indication of how entertained the audience is. So if you're sitting there just spamming the attack button, they'll get bored, and then your enemies will get stronger because they'll start to swing in their favor.
Okay, so there's like a scoring system, sort. You call it a hype meter, but
yeah. Just a bar on the screen that'll go back and forth depending on who's putting on the best show.
Okay.
And if you put on, you know, mix up your moves and add some showmanship, then you'll get the crowd on your side, and you'll unlock more powerful moves. You'll do more damage, start regenerating your AP, things like that. So.
Okay, cool. Turn-based? Is that the
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Right,
We
cool.
took that classic turn-based system and then wrestle-fied it to make it more engaging, more entertaining.
All right, awesome. So what platforms, and do you guys have a release date?
So it's coming out in May, and then it's coming out for PCs, all major consoles, Xbox, Switch, PlayStation 4, and I think one thing we haven't mentioned yet is the legends in the game.
Okay.
So we have many icons from wrestling, Macho Man Randy Savage, Andre the Giant, Jake the Snake, Jeff Jarrett. Jeff Jarrett will actually be here on Sunday. So if you want a guitar broken down over your head, here's the place to be. But yeah, so these guys, they appear in the game as these statues, right? Like these shrines across the world map. And everyone has their own side quest with a special reward. So if like you do the Jake the Snake quest, at the end you get the ability to summon Jake to do the DDT on your foes.
Okay,
So-
cool. Can I get tombstoned in the game or in real life? Is that why we're in the ring?
Yeah, we can do it here. Yeah, we can sign a waiver. We'll do it all day, baby.
Okay, we're gonna do that next.
Noisy Pixel.